Hello and welcome back to the Bandit channel. I'm Hazel and this is part 3 of how I changed my life in 2 months. Yeah, 2 months, that's all. I'm not going to go back to the beginning and explain how all of this started, so if you haven't watched part 1 and 2, I suggest you do so before you watch this one. In this one I'm going to be talking to you about the phenomenal Emma Holmes at the Launch Queen, who I think of all 3 of the people who have really helped me out in these last 2 months, she is the one who has been the best, and that really is saying something, because the other 2 are amazing in themselves. They're just Emma's just been amazing. So the first was, as previously mentioned in videos 1 and 2, the first was Leonie Dawson, who I haven't really worked with directly. I've just worked through her workbook, which was excellent and amazing and kick-started this whole thing. This whole thing got kick-started by that one little book, so that was fabulous. And then I moved on to do some coaching with Claire Mitchell at The Girls Mean Business, and her classes are just brilliant. They kind of carried on the work that book of Leonie's began, and showed me what to do and how to do it, and that was fabulous. But it was Emma that really kind of kicked me into high gear, and sort of said, look, you know, what exactly are you going to do, and exactly what do you want to be doing, you know, what do you want to be doing with your business, what do you want to be doing with your projects. And as you may have gathered from her name, which is the Launch Queen, she is the queen of the launch. And by launch I mean product launch, which was something I've really been struggling with for the last few years. Running a publishing house, obviously book launches and things like that. I've been releasing, you know, every few months or so I'd release something, and it'd go okay, but it wouldn't really go off as I intended. It wasn't as successful as I wanted. You know, I was disappointed. In some cases, well, in one case in particular, the authors were terribly disappointed, and that made me feel horrendous. I spent a lot of last year being quite depressed because of that one launch that went so badly wrong, that I was really quite depressed for several months. So it was a big thing for me, this notion of really kind of getting a handle on launches and how to launch well. So when I stumbled across, I didn't stumble across her. She actually works with Claire, so you know, I came to know of her through Claire, and because I was already so confident in Claire and what Claire could do, I knew that if she was working with Emma, then Emma must be bloody brilliant too. And she was. Well, she is. Still is. I actually underestimated her though, because she's so much better than I was ever expecting. So the third thing that I did, which has completely changed my life in 2 months, is Emma Holmes's Launch with a Little List program. I'll say that again, Launch with a Little List. It's a bit of a tongue dire. It's fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. 4-week program, which I've just come to the end of, which was very sad. But it's okay, because there's a Facebook group that I'm a part of, and that doesn't go away. I can't tell you how relieved I am that it doesn't go away at the end of the 4 weeks. It stays there. I don't know what I'd have done if it had suddenly gone. I've learnt so much from her and from the other girls in the group in the last 4 weeks. It's ridiculous. And the best part is I have, in this very short space of time, finally decided, which was a big decision for me, to do the one thing that I've been wanting to do in my business since I first opened it, which was to run a online course, a series a lot like the one Emma was running and Claire was running, that I have been taking, but mine will not be on coaching and business and launches. It will be on writing, and it will be teaching how to, not how to write, but how to produce fabulous books. I mean, there will be a little bit here and there on how to, help you with your writing, and things that will improve your writing to some extent, and you will learn a lot about writing in the process of doing the course. But it's not a course for writing. It's certainly not a creative writing course. It's not anything like that. And this first one, in fact, is not even aimed at fiction writers. This first one is aimed squarely at business owners, because in the course of doing my two courses, the first with Claire and the second with Emma, I came to realise that there were so many women business owners who knew exactly what they were doing with their own businesses. Bee's knees when it comes to their own business. Brilliant. But when it comes to the side of their business, which is my business, the writing side, they were really falling down, they were really struggling. Not because of any lack in themselves, just because nobody had ever taught them how to do it. And why would they? If you never learnt how to be a doctor, you don't know how to do medical things. So if you've never been taught the intricate details of structuring sentences and proofreading and editing and blah 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 blah, all that stuff that's mine. If you've never been taught it, you don't know it. And if you don't know it, you can't be expected to do it. So, my first programme, which is the Biz Girl's Guide to Amazing Books and Freebies, is soon to be launched. And I'm so excited about it. So this is the final piece. This is the final thing that's happened that's helped change my life in 2 months. And I do mean completely change it. Because I think about what I was like 2 months ago. So coming to the end of December. Yeah, so 2 months ago I was severely depressed. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to think about it. It was horrible. I wasn't even in a place where I could see anything getting better at any point. I was really, really stuck in this horrible dark place where it just seemed to me that there was no possibility that life could ever be any better than it has been for the last few years. Because I'll be honest with you, for the last few years, I mean, yes, I've had some good things happen, but on a personal level, it sucked. Like, seriously sucked. And on a financial level, seriously sucked. So the notion of getting to a place where that could be improved, it seemed impossible. It seemed so far away from where I was that I couldn't even glimpse it. And now, 2 months later, I can see it, not just glimpse it, but like see it as being a thing that's very near. And it might not work as spectacularly as I'm hoping it will do. It might take a little while for me to build it up to the point that I want it to be at. I'm sure it's going to take me a good long while to get everything in place that I want to get in place eventually. But for now, for how far I've come in the last 2 months, I am ecstatic. So, thank you, Leona Dawson. Thank you, Claire Mitchell. And Emma, thank you, Emma Holmes. I love you. And to all of you, I hope you keep watching, and I hope you like the channel, and I hope you like the site and the page, and everything that's coming up for you, because trust me, it's going to be amazing. TTFN.